Obviously, coming off the loss against Arizona, rebounding's been an issue. We're addressing it. We're going to have to put lineups out there that can rebound better. We got to get guys that make tougher plays. We got to do a better job not having breakdowns on defense. Some of the rebounds we give up are due to defensive breakdowns that we've had. So we're trying to address any and all areas that deal with the rebounding issues because we got to get fixed. So we're a pretty good team right now. We can't be one of the elite teams we're trying to be in the country until we figure out how to rebound the ball against these better teams. The good thing for us is that South Florida is an elite offensive rebounding team. So, we get to test ourselves in the biggest area we've got an issue with against a really good rebounding team. They're right now sixth in the country in offensive rebounds per game. So, right out of the gate, first one out, not that many days after we just got demolished on the boards, we get a team that's really good on the boards coming in. So we get to test ourselves again against our biggest area of concern. So that's what we've been talking about. That's what we're going to continue to focus on. We're going to make substitutions in the game, in large part based on rebounding and defensive assignment issues. Like we can't keep having defensive breakdowns, putting us in rotations that end up in offensive rebounds for the opponent as well. So that's where our focus has been here since the end of that Arizona game.
It's kind of reunion week for you guys with Hodgson and Petway. Just how much are you looking forward to seeing both those guys? What do you thought of the jobs they've done too?
Yeah, you know what? Big fans of both of them. Great time with, I had 4 years with Petway, and he's one of Alabama's all-time great player, assistant. He's been associated with Alabama basketball for a really long time. And, he was a player on the Elite Eight team, but he's a guy that's always pulling for us. He's, some guys you kind of get to know in the business. As soon as they leave a place, they want that place to do poorly in a selfish, reason. He's the opposite. Like he wants this place to go win a national championship. So love Petway. Can't wait to see him. Saw him play the South Florida game just because we play both them. I haven't seen him, other than having him on in the background as a fan, rooting him on. But, we'll get to them here after the South Florida game. Brian was with me for 8 years, did a bulk of the recruiting at both places, particularly at Buffalo. And then here, him and Petway did it together. But he's done a really good job recruiting where he's at. They played us really tough last year when he came in here with Arkansas State. So he's got a better team now than he had them. We're going to have to be ready to play them guys. But it'll be good to see them as people and have interactions with them because we did a lot of winning together. Me and Brian and then me and Petway as well.
Yeah, where are you guys at just from a health standpoint right now?
Yeah, so Keaton's had 2 good days of practice. He's getting better, more, in sync. He's coming. Amari's got a hip pointer that's been day to day and actually not been in practice as much. Biz has had 2 full days of practice. Similar to Keaton, I think he's looking better and better. I thought he looked the best he's had. And then Aiden's back fine. That was, from what Clark's telling me, it's kind of just a 1-day issue. And our dietitian, Amanda's got involved with making sure he's got everything he needs going into practice and games. So hopefully not have any cramping issues anymore.
Which lineups have you liked so far for this team? Are there some that you're just really kind of set on that you're going to be able to carry into SEC play?
That's been a large part of discussion as a staff with, Michael Schwimmer, our analytics guy, and his group. And we got to figure it out. I don't know that there's any lineups I'm super comfortable with right now. We got to find a lineup that actually rebounds. So we got to put, Aiden Sherrill's part of all lineups that rebound well. He's been in it. Keaton's a big part of that. The issue is those two. Aiden can't play 40 minutes. Keaton probably needs to be in when Aiden's not in. So, we need Noah to keep coming. He's guy in there. And then you kind of go to the next group of kind of guys that have showed that they're able to rebound it well. That's kind of been like Amari, London, and Houston. So kind of that group, we got to have at least 2 of those guys in all the time, I think, and maybe probably 3 until we get this thing figured out. So that kind of leaves a large group of guys that are whose minutes are going to get cut because you just can't put that many of them on the floor at the same time because they just don't rebound that well. So I can't give you a specific necessary lineup that we like, but we got to have guys in that are going to rebound the ball and multiple ones. So that means the guys that don't really want to rebound the ball we can't have too many of them at the same time.
When you've got bigs who can shoot threes and you spread the floor with them the way you like to do, how much do you put on the guards to contribute to the offensive rebounding versus the conventional thinking that the bigs got to go get these rebounds?
No, a lot. I mean, that's why like Houston's kind of in that group that will rebound because he goes to the old boards. We're hoping Davion and Jaleel, who will both get more minutes tomorrow, can maybe help with that. They're both great athletes that I think are willing to get in the mix and go get some rebounds. So, no, we're not putting our big right there in the block where he's just sitting there, kind of like you said, some of these other teams, and then the rebounds are wedging under. Like our bigs are spreading the floor, leaving the lane open for our guards to be able to get downhill. We got shooting bigs. Well, in order to play that way, you got to have some guards go get some rebounds because we haven't had this large of a rebounding issue, and we've typically been a pretty good offensive rebounding team because threes, long rebounds, guards are coming in, collecting long. We haven't had guys willing to go get them, so we got to put guys on the floor that are willing to go get them. Mari can go get them. I think hopefully Jaleel, Davion can go get them. We got to get some guys willing to go get them.
Yeah, you've mentioned toughness over the last couple weeks. Do you think that is innate or it could be taught?
It's definitely innate at some level. I mean, recruit a guy like Mo Diabate in and didn't really have to coach him to be tough. He was tough. Like, that's who he is. But I do think that certain coaches, teams always tend to be a little tougher. So I think there's definitely some coachability to it. You know, if it's one of those deals where you're rating a toughness factor from 0 to 10, I don't think you're taking a guy that starts at a 1 and moving him to a 10. You know, I think you can move a guy that's a 4 or 5 and get him up to 7 or an 8. Maybe you can take a guy that's an 8, move him up to a 10. You're not taking a guy that's just inherently soft and making him the toughest dude on the court, though. Like that, you got to have some fight, determination, toughness, some grit about you. That it's as a coach, I can try to demand it. You got to kind of want to do it, and it's got to kind of be who you are on some level. But this whole group, as a group, we've got to move it. Like so. Whether you rate each guy, however you want to rate them, this whole group's got to move a few notches up, and that's been a big point of emphasis. And I think the lineups you see on the floor starting tomorrow night are going to have that point of emphasis with, you know, you got to have some scoring, obviously, but you got to have more guys willing to do the blue-collar stuff, if you will. You got a lot of white-collar players right now, not that many blue-collar players, and we got to get more blue-collar players in the mix. All right, thanks, Foles.